kind of tell us your thoughts about how it goes?
Yeah, I like our schedule. The Gonzaga series is something we've been working on really, it seems like, for 5 or 6 years, and just could never really work it out and get them on the same page as what our feelings were about a series like that. But obviously it provides us a great opportunity to go on the road in a hostile environment. I think those types of games prepare you for Big East play, and I think the year following for them to come here is a game that our fans have always wanted and hoped that we could accomplish. So it's good that finally happened. I think the Gavitt Games contest against Northwestern, they're likely a top 20 preseason team coming off the NCAA tournament a year ago. So I think that'll be a great game for us, and I think the games in Kansas City will be really, really challenging. So, you want to have a mix of being able to have some home games with a number of new faces that we're going to throw out on the floor, where hopefully we can have a little bit of success at home and throw these guys into the fire that way. But you also want to be challenged, and you want it to prepare your team for the Big East, and you want your schedule to have some teeth come NCAA selection time if you're fortunate enough to be in that conversation.
What does the Gonzaga matchup mean?
It would have meant a lot anyway. But coming off the year that they had a year ago, I think it even adds something to it. I'd like to think that when we were in the Missouri Valley Conference, their program was something that we were aspiring to be, where you can be a name that's well known in the college basketball circles and not necessarily play in a power league, and they've been able to accomplish that, and have been one of the few schools that have been able to do it consistently. Now that we moved to the Big East, that's certainly changed our profile nationally, but this is a great game for our program, and I think it will turn out to be a great game for Gonzaga as well.
Matt, how do you balance that ability to have games that are really going to challenge your guys, but yet get some confidence boosters as well? It's got to be tough when you draw up the schedule.
It is, because some of it's out of your control. You sign up for these exempt events 5 or 6 years in advance, and you don't know. A team that might be good at the time you sign on for those may not be as good when the time comes to play them, and it could be the other way around. They could be much better than you anticipate. And we get 2 games sent to us. I think Yale is one of those 2 who's had some good seasons. So really, those 4 games are really out of your control, so to speak. You're going to play Nebraska every year, which is a great game for both fan bases. You're playing in the Gavitt Games, which is that game is out of your control. So when you start to think about it, we only have really 5 or 6 games that are within our control. The rest of them are through an exempt event or through the relationship with the Big East and the Big Ten, and then of course our home in Nebraska. But you want to try to make it good enough that it doesn't hurt you in March. You want it to help you in March, and I think last year that was certainly the case for us. I think our high seed had a lot to do with our performance in the non-conference and the fact that we were successful against good teams.
What about the Northwestern matchup? That's got to be a nice one, especially going on the road. That would test your guys away from home.
Yeah, and it's early. I think it's our 2nd or 3rd game, so we're going to find out a lot about ourselves. They returned 4 starters off that NCAA tournament team. And we're going to play at Allstate again. I thought we were done with that place, but fortunately we've had some good success there, so maybe that'll carry over to that game. But Chris Collins has done a terrific job with that program in really a short amount of time, and really changed their profile nationally as a basketball program as well. So that'll be a good test for us, and I think it'll be fun for some of our fans that live in the Chicago area.
One the fans may turn on a lot is that matchup down in Kansas City. UCLA, Baylor, Wisconsin. Just talk about having 4 teams on a neutral court like that.
Well, we've been talking to the promoter of that event for a number of years because we thought it would be something our fans would enjoy. And while I think our fans like going to the Virgin Islands or Las Vegas and they can get away and make a weekend out of it, I think the numbers of fans that we're going to be able to that are going to have the opportunity to watch us play in Kansas City, I think it could rival some of the Missouri Valley Conference days in St. Louis, and they can plan it for a couple days, and we knew it well enough in advance that I think everybody got their hotel room. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Sprint Center is a great arena and a great place for a college basketball game, and hopefully we can turn that city blue for a few days.
That one extra game, does that anticipate that being at home?
It will be at home, and I'm going to wait and see, till our conference schedule comes out. You remember, right, a couple of years ago, we had a situation where we played one game in 17 days because our buys were only a few weeks apart. And if something like that were to happen, I may want to try to find a game in that part of the year. Otherwise, we have a couple open dates in the non-conference portion, November and December, where we can put it in there.
How long have you known Mark Few, and would that help in the scheduling of a non-conference thing like that?
Well, I've known him a long time, and it hasn't helped so far until this year. And actually, we thought it was dead. I had Coach Murfeld's worked really hard, and Bruce has certainly been involved in it as well. I'm trying to work on this really every year, and I called Coach Few really the day before it got done. And he whined to me about how much scoring they lost and rebounding they lost. And I called Murph and said, I don't think there's any chance this is happening. And I reminded him that the 7-footer we had running around last year isn't here anymore either. But the next day it ended up getting done, and they agreed to it. I think when you're willing to go on the road first, you have a lot more flexibility and a lot more opportunity to get something like that done.
Since you've been at Creighton, you think this might be the most challenging preseason schedule?
I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, we played Wisconsin last year was really good. We've had Oklahoma a couple times, when they were in the Final Four. But I think from top to bottom, I think this is as good as we play.
You only have one exhibition, so that means closed scrimmage.
Yeah.
You have that set up.
Yeah, we're gonna go up to Minnesota and play up there in their closed scrimmage, and I think that'll be. Obviously, they return a really good team as well, and those have been proven to be very beneficial for us, and I think this one will be as well.
And then just injury updates. I mean, I think Toby's back on the court now.
Yeah, he did some stuff, some drill work yesterday for really the first time. So it's been a long time since he's been on the floor. It's been April actually. Damian's here now, and it's good to have him here and go through his first practice. And Manny's got a little bit of a problem with his calf, but it's nothing that's going to be long term. We'll have him back soon.
We got Al Huss back on the court here at Creighton. Tell me what the addition of having a former Creighton player here on the court means.
Well, I didn't get to watch him play, but I'm happy to report that I think he's a heck of a lot better coach than he was a player. So our fans can rest easy there. But he's done it. He's fit in great. He's got his family here now and found a house, and so they've been settled with his wife and the 2 girls. So it's great to have him back. And obviously he loves this place. And who better to sell Creighton and our university and our culture than someone that lived it and that went through it. So we've kept him busy. He's had a trip to Argentina already, and he's going to Africa, I think, next week for 4 or 5 days, and then to Europe in August. So he spent a lot of time overseas, really tapping into that market. I think he's going to have a huge impact on us down the road.
Hey, Mac, every year it seems like the summer league that your guys play a part of, it gets more and more pub and more interest, which is good for the program, I think. Fans get to go watch you guys. But how much should we read in all these gaudy numbers some of your guys are putting out? Hey, Kyrie went 50 plus the other night.
I think I could go over there and score 25, so I would. That's how much I would read into it. A summer league, I don't think there's a lot of defense being played, and it's a way for them to get out, run up and down. There's referees, and it's good for our fans. I think beyond that, what we do here is much more valuable. But the people that have organized it have done a really good job with it. I think the facility they're playing at over in Council Bluffs is really good. And Kyrie's confidence should be pretty good because he scored a few points.
You still have one open scholarship, right?
We do.
Any decision of what you're doing with that yet?
Not final. I mean, you never say never. There's a chance that we could try to add one more guy if the right person comes along. But if not, we'll just carry that over into this year. Thank you.
Thanks, Mac.